Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the finale of my Pandas Eyeshadows 2019. So I have quite a few things to get through in this video, so let's just start by going through the shades that I had in last month. So as always I had 5 shades and they're in these 4 palettes right here. So I'm just going to go through them in kind of no particular order, but I'm going to try to start with the ones that have been in the longest, which I believe is 3 shades. So on top I have this palette right here, which is the Mar palette by ColourPop, and in here I had the shade Sorbet, which was just a nice transition shade, and I'm just going to insert the picture where I was at last update, and it's been in for 2 months as of now, and I'm going to show you where I am today. So as you can see, this is where I am today. So I was able to hit pan, which is really exciting. I have 2 pans in this palette now from this project, which is again, like I said, really exciting. This was basically untouched when I started this project because I purchased this earlier this year. So I have another pan right here, which I am so happy about. So this shade was, like I said, really good as a transition shade. I used it actually most days, and I used it with a lot of different shades in this project. It did actually go with almost every shade that I had in it, and it was really nice to just mix it up and kind of use a brown to tone down the colorful shades that I had. So I got tons of use out of this one, and it actually did take quite a while to hit pan on, and I did use this a lot of times. I haven't been tracking my uses, but I think that's something that I'm going to do in next year's project, so stay tuned for that. But I remember this shade right here I hit pan on really fast, but this one took quite a long time. But that's just the difference between matte and shimmers, I suppose. But yeah, I'm really excited to have managed to hit pan on this one in the last month, and I'm gonna roll this out. Next up I have this one right here, which is the It's My Pleasure palette from ColourPop again. And the shade I had in here was Sleeper. Again, this had been in for 2 months as of now, I believe. So I'm going to insert a picture where I was. And this is where I am today. So as you can see right there, it's another pan. And yeah, it did take quite a while to pan on this one as well. I don't think I used this as much as the Sorbet shade because it is more of an out the corner shade for me. I got quite a bit of use out of this one, and I did actually incorporate this in more looks that I thought I would. It wasn't the easiest shade for me to use, but it is actually a really nice dark purple. I think I said in my last update that I quite enjoyed this because I was scared that it's going to be more kind of black based rather than purple, but it definitely leans purple on the eyes, and I way prefer that because I'm not a massive black eyeshadow wearer. So that was really nice, and like I said, I got tons of use out of this, but I did use it more in a kind of a focused area with a smaller brush, which is also why the dip is very kind of focused in the pan. This was actually the last shade that I hit pan on for this month, and I used it I think just before the end of the year. I think actually I hit pan on this on the 30th of December, which is basically just before the end of the year. So I'm really excited to have this out again and to have been able to hit another pan. The last palette that I have that's been in for 2 months is this one right here, which is another ColourPop palette, and this one is the Through My Eyes palette. So before rolling this last shade in, I actually been able to hit pan on quite a few of this shade in the project as well as outside in other projects as well. So I'm going to insert a picture of where I was on the shade Euphoric last time. And this is where I am today. So as you can see, I did actually manage to hit pan on this one as well. I'm really excited about that because as you can see now, I have 4 pans in this palette, and again, this was completely untouched when I started this project because I think I picked this up again beginning of the year at some point. So I'm really excited to been able to show progress on so many shades in this palette, and I really like this. This is actually one of my favorite palettes in my collection at the moment. I just think it's beautiful and the shade selection is really nice, and this palette has definitely made me play more with colors, which is super good because I didn't really know how to incorporate colors, but I think with this palette is super easy to do. So I'm really excited to have had another pan in this, and I'm definitely going to continue playing around with this because it's one of my favorite palettes, like I said. So those were all the shades that I have had in for 2 months, and let's go into the ones that I rolled in last time. So they're both in my C palette right here. I'm covering them up, but they were both Wet n Wild shades. I think both of them were actually from the Comfort Zone palette, which is one palette that I've already depotted, which is why they're in my C palettes. So I'm going to start with the one that I found the most exciting, and that is the light green shade in the palette. So I'm going to insert where it was when I started. And this is where I am today. So as you can see, I did manage to pan on this, and this actually only took I think 2 uses before I pan, because these pans are super shallow. I don't know if you can see that there, but they're not like that thick at all. They're very thin, and I already had quite a bit of use on this shade before I rolled it in. So I only used this like I said 2 times I believe, or 3 times before I pan, which was actually quite sad for me because I was really excited to use this green. I have used it a few more times since I hit pan, but I did focus on the rest of the shades because I did want to hit pan, and I just really want to push myself in the last month before the finale, so I didn't really focus on this too much after I hit pan on it. I'm so happy that I rediscovered this shade because it's beautiful, and I'm definitely getting more into green shades. I am wearing green on my eyes today. It's not this shade actually. It's beautiful and I'm so in love with it. I'm actually sad that I already have quite a bit of use on this because it's beautiful. I'm gonna try to find a dupe of this because yeah, it's stunning and I love this shade. So the last shade that I have is, again, like I said, a Wet n Wild shade. This is just the kind of vanilla beige shade in the palette, and I'm going to insert where I was last time. And this is where I am today. So as you can see, I did actually manage to hit pan on this one as well. So I hit pan on all of the 5 shades that I had in, which is incredible, and I'm so shocked with myself. I'm so proud of it. And this is one that was really easy again to hit pan on because the pens are very shallow. And I did mainly use this as inner corner highlight because yeah, it's just that kind of shade, and I did actually find a look that I've had throughout the whole month, which I think is why I've been able to hit pan on all of the shades. Like I said, the green I rolled out quite soon, and the remaining 4 I incorporated in like one look, which is why they all got used. But yeah, this one I used as an inner corner highlight. I think I used it as a face highlight maybe once, and it's really pretty as that. I just don't really like multitasking like that in my Pandas Eyeshadows project because I find that's kind of cheating, at least because I really wanted to pan on it, using it on my eyes, because one of the main reasons why I'm doing this project is basically to get more use out of my eyeshadows obviously, but also kind of push myself and find new ways to play with colors and combinations of eyeshadows. So that's why I want to mainly use them on my eyes. But yeah, it's just a beautiful shade. It's kind of like a basic vanilla shade, but I was able to hit pan on this one as well. So quite exciting that I hit pan on all 5 shades, and that definitely put up my pan percentages quite a bit. I will go through all of that at the end, but before I move into all of that, I'm gonna just go through quickly the eyeshadow looks that I did. I only have 2 to show this month actually, and like silly enough, I didn't include a picture of my kind of panning look, which I should have done, but I just didn't really take a photo of it because I think I thought that I had one already. So that's a mistake by me, but I basically, just to explain it, I used Sorbet all in the crease, and then I packed the orange shade from my ice palettes all over my lid. And then what I did is I topped that with a Super Shock shadow that I was panning, which was Fluffy from ColourPop again, and I kind of used that all over the lid. It was a very golden shade. And then to finish it off, I used the Sleeper shade in the outer corner with the vanilla shade in my inner corners. But moving on to the 2 looks that I have to show you. The first look right here is a look that I've had in my last few videos, so you may already seen it. But what I did here is I actually used my Foundation palette from Dose of Colors. It's a new palette that I have in my collection, and I just wanted to play around with it. So I used that, and I used the browns in that as well as the shimmery green. And what I did is I put the green from Wet n Wild kind of on the inner thirds of my eyes, which is what created this look. So not that many colors from this project, but I just wanted to include it because I think it's stunning, and a lot of people asked me how I created this look, so I just wanted to let you know. But yeah, I used the browns in the Dose of Colors palette, the green in there, as well as topping it off with a light green from this project. So the next look is actually my Christmas Eve look. We celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve back in Sweden, so this is kind of my Christmas look, and what I did for this is I used Sorbet again all over my crease, and then what I did is I used Sleeper, the dark purple, in my outer corners and also kind of into the crease a bit. And what I did afterwards is I did a cut crease and putting a Stila glitter all over my lid, and the one that I used is this one, which is in Diamond Dust. It's a beautiful look again, and I actually really like it. I hadn't done a cut crease and with a wing liner in a while, and I just really like how this turned out. So as you can see, the kind of Sleeper shade does work with the purpley shade as well, because it has a rosy undertone, although it is kind of a warm orangey brown. So those are the two looks that I had to share with you, but let's just move into the exciting part, or at least what I found is being one of the most exciting parts, and that is the statistics. So I have a list on my phone with all of the shades that I hit pan on, and in total in this project only I was able to pan on 27 shades. That is amazing to me. I can't believe I hit pan on that many shades, especially since most of my shades or most of my palettes were new when I started panning them. I had very little wear on most of these shades, and I'm just really impressed that I was able to hit that many pans. So when I started this project, I only had 5 pans in my whole collection, and at that point, at the end of 2018, I had in total 279 eyeshadows. So that gave me a pan percentage of 1.79, which was really low, and my goal was basically to increase that as much as I could. So since then, I actually did buy quite a few new eyeshadow palettes, mainly from ColourPop, and I made a massive order from there, which kind of increased my pan percentage quite a bit. So since then, I've gone to 370 eyeshadows, so that's where I was when I started this project, or yeah, it's been going throughout the year, but that's basically the number of eyeshadows that I've had throughout this project. And adding everything up, at the end of 2019, I had 36 pans, which is such an improvement since, like I said, I only had 5 at the beginning of the year. So with 36 eyeshadow pans, that gives me a pan percentage of 9.73. So I never really set a goal of where I wanted to be, but I always try to reach 10%. I'm so super duper close, and since I actually have 370 eyeshadows now, 10% of that would be 37 pans. And I am only 1 pan away since I'm on 36 at the moment, so I'm really excited with that. I'm super happy with that number. So moving into 2020, we're actually going to have a bit of a change in my eyeshadow percentage again, because I have picked up a few more eyeshadow palettes. Currently my eyeshadow percentage is actually down to 8.02, so it's gone down a little bit, but I am gonna work to hitting a higher number again. I'm gonna talk about my goal for all of this in my introduction for my 2020 project, so stay tuned for that if you want to know more about my goals with the pan percentage, as well as how I will do this project. But in general, I think this project was a massive success for me. I definitely learned to play more with eyeshadows, and I never really used to wear eyeshadow that much, but this project has definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me play with shades that I wouldn't kind of put together normally, and I've definitely been more creative with my looks. So that, combined with being able to hit so many pans, I made me so happy that I participated in this project. And like I said, I am going to do this in 2020, so my introduction for that will be up in the next couple of days. I'm not sure when I will post it, but I will be filming that straight after this video. But I think that's it for this finale. I'm still not bored of this project, and I can't wait to roll in Find Me Shades for the introduction. So I just want to get around to filming that straight away. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching and following along this project throughout this year. And if for some reason you're new here, then please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. And otherwise, stay tuned for my introduction in the next couple of days. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.